I'm Molly. I learned to love myself when it was the most tumultuous time, which was when I first came to California in 1981. And it was very difficult because I came from a background of Khmer Rouge, which is genocide. I've seen a lot of death, and so growing up, I had to always question myself, who's going to be my enemy? So when I got to America, and that's the way I was like that. So at 12 years old, my dad sat me down and he said, you know what, you look lost and we're all lost, but in America, it's a really good country because it's an opportunity. So you can go to university, you can go and do whatever you want, and you can become someone special. So from then on, I said, okay, I'll do my best. So he pretty much nurtured me through and told me that I can become someone special by loving yourself first, because if you don't love yourself, you can't love another person. That was it.
The Orange County could have been this here. You gotta give them, the 405 is Pearl. Here's another journey girl, Pearl Nunez. And we'll have you read. You have to come over here and tell us why you fell in love with yourself. If you need help from the book. Okay. So Molly, you're done? Okay.
Yeah. Do you need the book? You want to see? Oh, there's one right here.
Oh, there's one.
Okay. Thank you. Mom, what was yours?
Yeah.
Ah, me.
Yeah.
My name is Laurel, and I think that started happening for me when I was newly divorced. I'd been a nurse, but I wanted to go back to school. And one of the first courses I took when I went back to school at university was a course on women. And I think it was studying women from all over the world that I began to get myself back again, and that's what happened.
Oh, wow. And that's what I call it. I'm Carlota Espinosa, and I'd just like to thank Miki. It's a real honor that she asked me to be part of her book. And the question when she interviewed me, she's like, how did you know when you fell in love with yourself? I was like, well, my mother would always say she has since she was born, But I think for me, it's always following, and I think I wrote this in the book, is my gut. I think every time that I did follow my first instinct, it always led me the right way. It wasn't always a sometimes joyous way, it was sometimes maybe a painful way, but it was always the right way. And when I have not, that's when I've gotten into trouble or didn't go the way I should. So that's why, but I also credit my mom. So I think a big part of the reason who I am and where I am today is because of her. And I wish she was here, but she has the flu. She wanted to be here. But yeah, part of that is like, I think falling in love with myself is a great deal to do with my mother. So I thank her a lot also in the book.
My name's Laurel Holloman. Female intuition is everything. I answered that I fell in love with myself when I was pregnant with this one right here. And I was on a television series for Showtime, and I kind of went to work at 4 months pregnant, and I worked all the way the day, I worked a 15-hour day and my water broke. I think it was during that time I really started to love myself, because I had a little bit of a difficult pregnancy. I got gestational diabetes, and I was puffy, and I was tired, and but it was like such a joy to go to work every day, so I felt blessed in that way. And I actually think I asked Lola to come early. She was listening. And my mom was there during the labor. It was really great. But I think during that time, we're so programmed, especially in the entertainment industry, to like just search for this sort of ridiculous perfectionism, like be fit, to be completely perfect, articulate, everything. And there was something about being pregnant and celebrating that pregnancy. Oh my gosh.
was herself already.
Where I just learned to shut out all the noise, what everybody else tells you. And I really learned that just shut out all the other noise about worrying about what people think or anything like that, or what we're socialized to believe, and just like celebrate like this incredible thing that was happening. So,
All right.
and I'm really grateful to Miki because if she hadn't asked me to be part of the book, I wouldn't have developed this incredible friendship. So, and we've done like 40 photo sessions.
That's a whole nother book.
That's a lot. So thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Pearl.
I'm Pearl Nunez, and it's just been a fantastic journey with Miki. I met her on a safari in South Africa.
We were starving and cold.
And somehow we were like out in the middle of the bush there, and she popped that question on me, and it just caught me off guard. I just hadn't really thought about it. It wasn't like, it was maybe lack of awareness of the concept. So I just kind of that night started thinking a lot about it, and she just kind of opened up a reflective period of just kind of going through. It's like, wait a minute, what have I done? Where have I been? I own a business, manufacturing business, which is male dominated, and I just always found myself just real busy. And I really hadn't thought about it until Miki asked me. And I realized that if I'm talking about love, like just putting yourself first, it probably came after I raised my kids. I have 2 boys. One is 25 and one is 22. And then after the boys were kind of doing okay on their own, they weren't kind of as clingy to mom, I went right into my business, and that was my 3rd child. And things kind of stabilized in the business, started doing well, and then maybe I started looking at things that I enjoyed, and I equated that at the time that Miki asked me the question about falling in love with myself. When did I become aware? When did I kind of start nurturing my needs rather than somebody else's, or taking care of somebody else? So that's kind of the way I saw it. But since then, I've thought about it and really think there's just as different as we all are. We all kind of see the question differently, feel it differently, and I have read some of the things that other people have said, and I totally agree with them. And so I'm not sure about the answer anymore. That's kind of where it all is. I kind of feel like I've fallen in love with myself at the same point that she has, and she has.
That's a collective.
Yeah, so that's my story.
Okay. And we got to give this woman a hand, because she just had knee surgery. She climbed the steps. I was like in the top coming up these steps. And she's here, and I'm so happy, ladies and gentlemen, the Reverend Lethal Ward, and she's going to tell you when and how she fell in love with herself.
And it was a pleasure to be here. I think coming up those stairs were very representative of the journey of how I fell in love with myself, because it is a journey, and it is a climb, and it is sometimes uphill, and it is rewarding when you get to the top. And it was such a providential time when I met Miki. It was a 50th birthday party for me. It was an entering and an ushering into a new season for me. I had a 50th birthday party at the Getty. And coming from being raised and born in South Central and Compton to having a 50th birthday party at the Getty was the climb, the journey, the falling in love with myself. And one of the things that Miki did that was just such a birthday gift for me, and such a gift on the next season of my life, was to help me to embrace my beauty. I grew up at a time where I was told how big, how tall, how black, how ugly, how big my lips were, how big my hips were, all of the things that I've come to embrace and love, how nappy my hair is. I love all of that about me. But when you're a kid and you're told that those are not good things about you, it was a journey to get to the point of believing, of seeing those as lies and believing the truth. And so my journey was when I really believed the truth of God and Him telling me how fearfully and wonderfully made I am, and how to be able to embrace that. And part of my gift was Miki took pictures for my 50th birthday that were some of the most amazing pictures that I'd ever seen. And I was one who, I would rip pictures up of myself. I never celebrated the photography, and I always found something wrong in a photo. And everything was so right in her photos. Besides the how magnificent her work is, it's just like, I loved my lips. I loved my hair. I loved how dark my skin was. I was like, wow, this is just really fearfully and wonderfully made. And so part of my journey has had to silence the lies, embrace the truth, and to really walk in how fearfully and wonderfully made that I am. And even on this part of my journey where my walk is a little different and my walk is learning to become new again, that's what life is. We have to renew our walk constantly. We'll get knocked down, but we have to get up. We can't look at those stairs and say, I'm not going up there. It's just like, how am I getting up?